Hi, my name is Linda and I'm a femininity and dating coach. So, if you're interested in tips on seduction and how to become a goddess and attract high quality men, hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my weekly videos. Now, before we get started, doors are open for my seduction secrets, how to rekindle your long term relationship. So, check out the details in the description box. And on top of that, I offer one on one coaching and email coaching. So, if you need help, get the details in the subscription box. So today I'm going to be talking about verbal seduction. And this is not about sexting, this is not about sending nudes. And this is a really, really juicy topic. So, a couple of months ago, I attended this class, and I was doing personal development work and I wanted to get a promotion at work, so I did this course. And in that class, we were a small group of four of us, and I happened to be the only babe in that class. And it just so happened that the guys in there were Ivy League guys. There was one guy from Harvard, there was another one from some Ivy League university. And the good thing is, after we finished the class, I passed the exam, so one of them invited us for drinks. So, of course, I'm married. I've been married for 10 years. And what I then did, I have this friend of mine who's single, and I was like, okay, this will be interesting. So I invited her over just so that she could meet guys because she was at that point where she really wanted to settle down. So what happened? Of course, we waited for her. She came in, and there was this particular guy who I thought would really be a good match for her, because of course, my friend, she's super elegant and she's well traveled and well educated. So, and this guy was that kind of guy. So anyway, so she walks into the restaurant. Then what do? I move aside, and she sits next to him. So of course they started chit-chatting. So I could overhear from where I was sitting, and this guy was like, "Oh, okay, so yeah, I vacationed in Switzerland." And the baby's like, "Oh yeah, me too, me too." And then he's like, "Oh, I love horses." She's like, "Oh yeah, me too, me too." So I was like, "Oh my God." And now the conversation just started becoming like he says one thing, she rebuffs with another thing. He says one thing, and immediately she has a comment. And do you know what happened? At the end of the night, I obviously hoped that he'd ask for her number, and this babe is drop dead beautiful. Do you know what he did? He didn't ask for her number. So later on, I was like, dude, what happened? I thought I brought you a babe. He just like dismissed me. But when I observed the two of them talking, I immediately could pick up things that this babe was doing that just turned this man off. So let me share with you some tips around verbal seduction. Now, like if you're new to the whole seduction thing, I know how media has portrayed seduction where there's this babe who's half naked with a perfect body, and she has this kind of figure, skin color, hair. But the thing about seduction is it's a mental game. Seduction is such a mental game, and not many people know how to do this. It's and that's how you see some people get played, some babes get played, because you see, the thing is, men really take their time to understand us as women. And they understand you, they get to know you, and of course, they tailor their words and their experiences towards you. And that's how so many women end up falling in love. So, the first thing, if you want to become a verbal seductress, and the whole idea around seduction is to influence a man to give you whatever it is you want. Whether you want him to commit to you, whether you want a fling, whether you want commitment in terms of marriage, whether you want him to invest in you, seduction is your key. Well, of course, it depends with the kind of relationship you're looking for. If you're looking for something short term, of course, the tactics will not be the same as if you want a man to marry you or if you want him to invest in you. There are different levels of seduction that you'll have to play depending on what your end goal is. So, the first tip when it comes to verbal seduction, please take your time to listen to understand this man in front of you. I know it's so easy for you if a guy says, "Oh, I love um, jogging, then you're like, oh yeah, me too, I like jogging. Okay, I know, I understand that you want to really show this guy that you have so much in common. But in the world today where attention, like there is so much happening and everybody wants to grab your attention, everything is quick, quick, quick. If you're the kind of babe who's sitting next to a man on a date, or even if he's your husband or just any man that you're interested in romantically, there's nothing as seductive as giving this man your undivided attention. And that means you're not just listening so that you can say the next thing that comes to your mind, you're listening so that you understand. And how you do that is you take cues. Talk to him about what, just pay attention to what he's talking about. If maybe you ask him about how he grew up, ask him a follow-up question. So maybe he says, oh my god, my high school, I was such a bright kid. Ask a simple question like, oh my god, so how would your mom react when you used to take her like all your glowing report cards, and then he'll tell you, oh my mom was strict, or my mom was like this, like that, like that. Ask follow-up questions. There's nothing as seductive as trying to really truly understand somebody before you present your own agenda. Remember, most of the times, especially even in relationships, we all have our agendas that we want to advance. So the babe who takes her time to really listen to this man and understand him, and you understand not just by nodding and staring at him, you ask follow-up questions so that you can get to know more and more about this man. That is truly seductive. So in the case of my friend, what she should have done, when this guy said, oh my god, I vacationed in the Alps, she should have asked, oh, how often do you go there? When do you start going there? What even made you pick the Alps? Remember, this guy will start talking and talking and talking. And remember, people love to listen to themselves talk. If you're a smart babe, you, at the end of that, even if it's 30 minutes you're together, you'll be able to have a sense in terms of what kind of a man this is. And he'll be so anxious and so like looking forward to speaking with you more because you gave him the undivided attention. So the first thing, pay undivided attention. The second thing, listen to understand, not to just, give your own comments and suggestions. Now the third thing, look at the kind of words you're using. Sometimes even if you're going out on dates with a guy, or if you're in a relationship, for instance, your man comes home in the evening, do you know the first thing that's so automatic for you to do is to immediately meet him and tell him, oh, my boss did this, or the child did this, I don't know, the house help did that. And it's so immediate to just welcome a man with all these negative, funny things that happen in our day-to-day lives. But remember, sometimes it's really important to just create that warm space, inviting space. Yes, there's so much crap that you've had to go through throughout your day, but if you're trying to create a seductive environment, the way you do it is you welcome this man, let him unburden himself, and then look for some positive things to discuss. Remember, verbal seduction is about telling stories. It's about weaving and creating beautiful memories together. You may argue that, oh, Linda, it's not realistic, but trust you me, if you look at your day, there is definitely something beautiful that happened. How about you start the conversation with that? And when you're, being positive in terms of how you're communicating and how you're approaching this man, it's also really, really important to create, how do you call this? To make this man visualize beautiful memories in the future. So let's say you're out with a man and maybe he's telling you about maybe how he loves swimming or whatever. If you're a clever woman, what you can easily start doing is just start talking about, oh my god, wouldn't it be so beautiful for you to be on the beach, and I'm just relaxing there, maybe in my cute bikini, and we're just hanging out, having so much fun. You know, you start to create a picture that's futuristic, and he will start to visualize that time together. Remember, verbal seduction is about creating just a nice, soft, exciting energy it doesn't have to be grounded on what's real. It's just about creating that softness. And remember, you're lowering this man's guard so that you can be able to eventually ask him for whatever it is that you want. Now, the other thing about verbal seduction, it's about your tone of voice. I know some of you have businesses, your boss babes, your boss chicks, all this, all that. But when it comes to talking to men, there's that voice that you need to use. The same voice you cannot use the same voice that you use to talk to your house help, for instance, and then use that same voice to ask your man for money, maybe to go do, I don't know, manicure or pedicure, whatever. My goodness, he's not gonna yield. He's not going to yield. Remember, Marilyn Monroe used to sound so crazy when she used to speak with her baby voice. And it's so funny because I had a former boss. My goodness, she was a whole director, but her voice, when she was around men, it used to sound like it's almost unreal, but I worked with her for 5 years. Trust you me, she got her way 99% of the time. So your tone of voice is also really, really important in terms of how you're laying the ground to start telling your stories and to start having an engagement with this guy. So yeah, so with those tips, I hope you are now at least more enlightened in terms of what verbal seduction is and how you can start to use the art of storytelling, using the art of communicating to be able to get anything that you want from your man. So drop the comments below, and I'd love to know what you thought about some of these seduction tips. And remember, doors are open to the Sensual Seductress Secrets, where I'll teach you how to rekindle your long-term relationship. And trust you me, I'm not going to show you how to do backflips in bed. So see you soon. Bye.